Hi, this is Ryan with KidsHabitWiFi.com, and today I'm going to go over some of the Kurio parental controls. I had some questions about it, so I wanted to go ahead and get those answered and see if this helps you out. So inside your parental controls, you can select profiles. This one's for my son Ryan, and so I've selected the profile. So what you can do now is you can change the information, which gives them a birth date, and then check mark it, and that makes changes. Then you have internet access, what they're allowed to do. There's no internet access, restrict to specific sites, and that's where you enter URLs where they are allowed to go. Then you have the Kurio Genius filtering system, and those are sites that Kurio has approved. And then you have full internet access. Now, if you give them full internet access, that warning does pop up. In profile settings, you do have to have allow USB connection. Basically, that allows the SD card to pull apps and different things like movies. You have to have that check marked so it will work. Authorize sponsored links and applications. I don't check mark that because that's part of the ads, and if you don't want kids buying stuff through their apps, do not check mark that. You can also protect each profile with its own password. I do check mark the auto authorize applications after install. That means if I buy something from the Amazon App Store, I want it to work after I download it. So if you don't have that check marked, it's not going to automatically work. Clickable notifications, that's another thing, like for apps, when you try and make purchases, you don't want it to automatically send it to the web browser, especially if you've allowed them full internet access. You may not want them going to where the ad's going to take them. Then we have time management. So if you want to add, like, say through the week, you only want them to be able to do it from 6 to 8 because they need their playtime outside, need to do their homework, their chores, so they only get a certain amount of playtime every day, and after 8 o'clock it's bedtime and they need to take their bath and all that kind of stuff. So this kind of limits them so that they're not just getting in whenever. Also Saturday and Sunday you could do that, or you could apply the same settings to the entire week, and when you check mark that, it'll basically put the same setting for the entire week. Make sure you hit the check mark. I hit the X because I don't want to do that while I'm trying to do this, because it'll limit me from being able to use his profile. So here in the app management, you have to check mark what you want them to have access to. So I took access to, like, the file manager off. Let's go ahead and add iHeartRadio. We're going to check mark it, and then we're going to go to his profile, and I'm going to talk to you about some more settings. So now I got his profile all set up, so we're going to switch user, and we're going to go to that profile. And if you set it up with a password, then they would have a password instead of that little locking screen. And you can see I just added iHeartRadio. It came at the very end. I did give him access to the Amazon App Store. Some of the apps will not run if you don't have the Amazon App Store inside their profile. Some things I want to talk about on the Amazon App Store is how to manage your account so that they can't get into it. So if you go to settings, you can change your in-app purchasing. And I'm going to put my password in real quick. And so that's how I turned on allow in-app purchasing. But you're probably not going to want that check mark because you don't want them making purchases without your knowledge. but this is one way to get the in-app purchasing off. And there's also another setting in here, and if you look under parental controls, right now I have them enabled. When you enable this, it locks it and basically brings up a notification. So if they try and make in-app purchases, you'll have to enter your Amazon password for them to be able to get it. You can also change it to a 4-digit PIN. I don't really recommend that because that's a lot easier for your kids to find out, and your bank account will be empty. So we talked about the Amazon App Store. Things like Angry Birds Star Wars, that did need the Amazon App Store in their profile to run properly. It kept shutting that app down, and there will be other apps like that. Right now I have quite a bit of stuff running, and this is another thing you need to do, is your kids will constantly open apps and you'll think they're not running, but they're actually running in the background. So what you need to do is go to your 2 rectangles and close them down, and this is what actually causes the freezing to occur, because you have too many apps running in the background. It's also going to slow the tablet down significantly. So this is Angry Birds Star Wars 2, and I just want to show you that they cannot make purchases if you set it up the way I just showed you. So when you're on a board, you can make purchases from this little shopping cart when you're in Angry Birds. And I'm going to show you. It says that I need more credits, so it's going to go to the internet and basically try and find out if it can make a purchase. And you're going to see here in a second that Amazon's going to block it. Now they can't guarantee that they block every single app. You'll read that in their warnings, but I haven't had any issues with it yet. I'm not saying it's 100% going to work, but it should. You can see right there, it went ahead and denied the in-app purchase, so they were not able to buy anything. Now if you were going to let them get some coins or something, you could have hit allow it, and then Amazon would have asked for your password. So that's a little bit about the parental controls and how you get the apps that you buy on there. And also, like I said, make sure you check this 2 rectangle button all the time. That's your apps that are running in the background, so that you don't slow your tablet down or cause it to freeze by having excessive apps running. So if you guys have any more questions, just leave them, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks.